She said I wasn't ambitious enough while I was paying for her master's degree. Then I found out why. Throwaway account because this is still blowing up my life. My girlfriend of 4 years told me 2 weeks ago, "You're comfortable but you're not going anywhere. I need someone who matches my ambition." She said this while sitting in the apartment I pay for, working on the laptop I bought her for the grad school program I'm financing. I'm Andy, senior data analyst at a Fortune 500 company. I make $140K, not rich but comfortable, in Austin. I came from nothing, foster care in Detroit, worked 3 jobs through community college, transferred to UT, worked my way up. I thought stability was ambition. She's Shelley. We met at a coffee shop 4 years ago. She was a barista between opportunities. Smart, driven, wanted to get her MBA. I believed in her. When she got accepted to McCombs, I offered to help with tuition, $28K per semester. She moved into my place to save money. I thought we were building something. Last month, she started acting different, more on her phone. Study groups that ran until 2 a.m., coming home smelling like cologne that wasn't mine. When I asked about it, she said I was insecure and holding her back from networking. 3 days ago, I had to work from home. Facility HVAC broke, whole floor evacuated. Shelley didn't know. She came home at lunch, went straight to her laptop in the bedroom. I heard her on a video call. "Baby, I can't wait until May. Just 2 more months and I'm done with this." Pause. "No, he has no idea. He thinks I'm committed." Laugh. "You were right. He's too nice to ever suspect anything." I stood outside the door. My hands went numb. She continued, "Once I have the degree, I'm gone. His name isn't on anything, so legally he can't touch it. My lawyer already confirmed." Her lawyer. I walked downstairs, sat on the couch, stared at the wall for an hour. When she came out, she kissed my forehead like nothing happened. "Gotta run to study group, babe. Don't wait up." I just nodded. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about his name isn't on anything. What did that mean? I paid the tuition directly to the university. She didn't take out loans. I have the transaction records. But something bothered me about my lawyer already confirmed. So I did something I'm not proud of. I checked her laptop while she was asleep. She stays logged into everything. Ironic for someone planning an exit strategy. What I found made me realize I wasn't dealing with a simple affair. I thought she was cheating and using me for tuition money. I was wrong. She was doing something much worse. In her email, I found correspondence with a law firm about asset protection and cohabitation financial rights. But that wasn't the shocking part. The shocking part was the Google Doc titled Exit Strategy, Final Draft. It outlined in detail how she planned to establish common law marriage status in Texas. We don't have common law marriage anymore, but she didn't know that. Then file for partnership dissolution, claiming I had promised to support her education as part of our domestic partnership agreement. She was going to sue me for the full cost of her MBA, $112K total, claiming I had made a verbal contract to fund her education in exchange for domestic partnership, and that I was now backing out. Her plan was to leave me the day after graduation, move in with her study partner. Edward found his texts. He's a trust fund kid whose dad owns commercial real estate, and then file the lawsuit to extract 6 figures from me on her way out. Edward's messages. "Your plan is genius. You get the degree, the boyfriend pays for it, you sue him for breach of promise, and we use the settlement for our startup. Beautiful." She literally wrote in the doc, "Andy is too trusting and too proud to fight back. He'll settle to avoid embarrassment." I'm writing this at 4 a.m. because I can't sleep. She's next to me, peaceful, dreaming about her brilliant scheme. Reddit, I need to know, am I overreacting or is this as insane as it feels? Edit. A lot of you are telling me to get a lawyer immediately. I'm calling one first thing Monday. To everyone asking if I kept evidence, I took photos of everything on my phone, timestamped. Every email, every text, the entire Google Doc. Edit 2. Someone asked why I haven't confronted her yet. Honestly, I'm still processing. Part of me doesn't want to believe the person I loved could actually do this. Update 1, posted 2 weeks after original post. Holy shit, you guys. Thank you for the wake-up call. The comments saying document everything and get ahead of this probably saved me from financial ruin. First, What happened immediately after my original post? I took Monday off work, told Shelley I was going to the office early. Instead, I went to see David Shepard, an attorney my company's legal team recommended. I brought printed copies of everything: the Google Doc, Edward's texts, the law firm emails, transaction records showing my payments to the university. David's exact words: "This is attempted fraud. She's planning to file a frivolous lawsuit knowing she has no basis. The fact she's coordinating with Edward to use a potential settlement for a business venture shows intent. We can work with this." He told me two things that changed everything. One, Texas is a one-party consent state for recording. I could legally document our conversations. Two, I needed to establish a paper trail showing she had no expectation of repayment before she filed anything. So we created a strategy. I won't lie, it felt manipulative. But after reading what she planned to do to me, I was done being too nice. That Tuesday, I did something David suggested. I took Shelley to dinner at her favorite restaurant. Yes, I paid, made a show of being romantic. Then I said, "Shelley, I've been thinking about our future. I want to make sure we're on the same page about finances." She perked up, probably thought I was about to propose. I continued, "The MBA tuition I've been paying, I want you to know I see it as a gift. An investment in our future together. I'm not expecting you to pay me back or anything formal like that. I love you and I want to support your dreams." I watched her face. She smiled, kissed my hand. "Baby, of course, you're so generous. I could never repay you anyway." "Exactly," I said. "I just wanted us to be clear that this is unconditional support. No strings attached, pure gift." "Absolutely," she said. I had my phone in my jacket pocket, recording everything. One-party consent. The next week I did this 3 more times. Different contexts, same message. Always emphasizing gift. No expectation of repayment, unconditional support. She agreed every single time. David was building an audio collection of her acknowledging the tuition was a gift. But then something unexpected happened that changed everything. I got a call from Macomb School of Business, Financial Aid Office. "Mr. Harrison, we're calling about Shelley Jensen's account. We show your payments covering her tuition, but we've received a separate financial aid application from her claiming she's self-funding through personal loans. This creates a discrepancy in our records." I was confused. She applied for financial aid. "I've been paying her tuition." Long pause. "Sir, did you know Ms. Jensen has been receiving need-based grants this entire time?" My blood went cold. The financial aid officer explained. Shelley had been claiming on her FAFSA that she had no financial support, living expenses covered by loans, and qualified for maximum need-based aid. She'd been receiving $15,000 per semester in grants, but I was paying her full tuition, which meant she was double-dipping. Taking $30K per year in grant money meant for students who actually needed it, while I paid her full freight. The financial aid office only caught it because they were doing a routine audit and noticed my large direct payments didn't match her no-support claims. I sat in my car in the parking lot, shaking. She wasn't just planning to sue me. She'd been committing financial aid fraud for 2 years. I called David immediately. He said, "This is federal. This is beyond civil court now." That's when I learned something about Shelley I never knew. When David ran a background check, something I should have done years ago, I know, he found that Shelley had done this before. At her undergrad institution in California, she'd been expelled in her senior year. The official records were sealed, but David's investigator found student newspaper archives. She'd been in a relationship with a professor who was funding her education. When he tried to end it, she threatened to report him for inappropriate conduct unless he continued paying. The university investigated, found out she'd been extorting him, and expelled her. She never finished her bachelor's degree, which means her Macomb's application was based on a fraudulent transcript. I felt sick. The woman I loved, who I'd been supporting for 4 years, wasn't who I thought she was at all. But here's where it gets crazier. That Friday night, Shelley came home excited. "Edward and I are going to Miami next weekend for a startup conference. His dad's paying. Want to come?" I looked at her. This woman who was planning to destroy me financially. who'd been stealing financial aid, who'd lied about her entire educational history. I said, "Nah, you go, have fun." She seemed surprised I didn't object. "Really, you're not worried? Why would I be worried? I trust you." Her face did something weird, almost like guilt, but it passed. "Okay," she said, "I'll bring you back something nice." After she left for class, I called David. "She's going to Miami with Edward next weekend. I think that's when she's planning to create evidence for her exit story." David said, "Let her. While she's gone, we're going to the university, the financial aid office, and we're going to file our own complaint. Let's see how her exit strategy looks when she's facing fraud charges." Next update. What happened when she came back from Miami? Edit: to the people saying I should have confronted her by now, David's strategy is to let her commit as much as possible before we act. The more she does, the stronger the case. Update 2, posted 3 weeks after Update 1. I need to just jump right in because this got completely insane. Shelley went to Miami with Edward that weekend. I used the time to meet with the university's Title IX office, the financial aid department, and yes, a federal investigator from the Department of Education's Office of Inspector General. David brought everything: the fraudulent FAFSA applications, proof I'd been paying full tuition, her expelled status from her previous university, the fake transcript she'd submitted to McCombs. The Title IX coordinator's face went white. We need to involve the police. The financial aid fraud alone was $60,000 over 2 years, but the falsified transcripts to gain admission, that elevated it to wire fraud because she'd used electronic communications. The investigator said, "We'll need to interview Mr. Harrison formally, but we have enough to open a case."